Since my original Ultra Mob guide, several Ultras have received special abilities that make them harder to destroy. In this video, I will explain all of the abilities that currently exist and how to counter them. The first two abilities already existed well before I made the Ultra Guide video. Hornets have a missile spam ability and a summoning ability. The summoned Hornets are 2 rarities lower than the Ultra or Super Hornet, so they aren't very dangerous themselves, but if the Hornet is near a wall in Maze and spawns a Hornet swarm between itself and the wall, it can suddenly be pushed away from the wall, ramming players that are too close. The missiles from the spam ability are also 2 rarities lower, so they are very weak. Like the other ability, the main risk with this one is ramming. When the Hornet does this, it will always run clockwise in a circle. Because it runs clockwise when it uses its ability, which is right based on where the Hornet is facing, the best way to avoid being run over is to always stay on the left side of the Hornet. Pay attention to walls on the right side of the Hornet as well, because if it runs toward the wall and hits it, it will be pushed off the wall, putting it in a position further away from the wall than where its original position was. This makes it so that if you were close to the Hornet on its left side when the Hornet started the ability, it will run over you when it loops back around unless you move out of the way. All of this applies to Wasp as well, since Wasp has the same abilities as Hornet. The next ability is Sandstorm's Suction ability. The Sandstorm will stop moving and start spinning rapidly while pulling all nearby players toward it. Simply running away from the Sandstorm does not overcome the ability, but the ability is countered by Soil, which reduces the strength of the ability. 1 of any rarity of Soil is enough to allow you to survive. Shell's ability is shooting pearls and calling them back after shooting 5 of them. The pearls deal the same amount of damage as a Hornet missile, but have 10 times the amount of health, and they are much faster than a missile. They are almost impossible to dodge, so the strategy against them depends on how many players are around. If you are on your own, the easiest way to deal with an Ultra Shell is to aggro it from a distance using Bulb or a projectile, lure it to a corner where you can break line of sight, and then attack it while hiding around the corner. If it's a Super Shell, or if you're grinding shells with some other players, one player should take aggro and stay far ahead out of range of the pearls, while the others follow and attack the shell, being careful not to be between a pearl and the shell when the pearls come back. Jellyfish has the ability to create a shockwave that damages all players within a large radius and disables petals for a short time. This can only be countered either by paying attention to the timing of the shockwaves and bubbling away right before each one, or by using healing petals to recover from the shockwave damage. The shockwave is also buggy and can sometimes double hit a player. The chance of this happening is higher if you're moving when the shockwave happens, so if you think the shockwave is about to happen, stop moving. Rock's ability is more annoying than actually dangerous. Whenever it is damaged by a certain amount, it spawns rocks 2 or 3 rarities lower around it. If you are damaging the rock quickly, it will spew out low rarity rocks, constantly knocking you away from it and blocking your petals. But unless your health is really low, this ability should basically never kill you. Bush spawns random jungle mobs 2 rarities lower than it. Like the rock ability, this is more annoying than actually dangerous, since legendary mobs shouldn't really be an issue for you if you're good enough to grind jungle 5, and mythic mobs from Super Bush will quickly be destroyed by the large number of super hunters there. Finally, there's the Termite Overmind's petal disabling ability. The Overmind will randomly disable your petal slots one by one for a long duration, so that after being near it for some time, you will only be able to use 4 of your petal slots. It's important to note that it's the slots that are disabled and not the petals, so switching the petals around allows you to choose which petals are enabled and which aren't, and that's the counter to this ability. There is no petal that will hard counter the ability like with Sandstorm. Typical DPS builds rely on optimization with fasters and debuffs with Bur, which use up your very limited petal slots, so you should instead use petals that perform well on their own, like Iris, Wing, and Stinger. Swap your petals around to always keep your strongest petals in open slots. Keyboard movement is good when dealing with an overmind because you'll be able to keep control of your movement while using your mouse to swap the pedals.